If you want to know how to get financing and how to get the best home loan deal for you, you are at the right place. Financing is probably one of the most important parts of the process of acquiring property. And today I've got Marleze Moller from My Home Loans with me. Welcome, Marleze.
Thank you, Jaco. It's a privilege to be here, and it's great for me to share my tips on how to get 100% finance for your clients.
So, Marleze, you've been my bond originator for over 15 years, and I have stopped counting how many deals you've gotten financing for me. How do you get it right?
Jaco, I think your structure is correct, and I think that's the most important aspect that potential buyers need to know what we're looking at and what the bank is looking at. So for over 21 years, I've been doing this, and you tend to see that what the banks are looking for and what they're not looking for. And giving advice is our main priority to commit and make sure the applications is presented correctly and that it gets approved the first time.
You're a bond originator. What exactly is a bond originator, and why should someone use a bond originator?
Firstly, I just want to say we're not the enemy. Okay, so we can work with your private bankers, but we've got 4 to 5 banks that we can apply. So we're the middleman that's between the purchaser and the bank, and then we source the best deal to make sure that there's no specific conditions and that you get the best interest rate basically for your application.
And the great thing is our clients don't pay you a cent. Is that correct?
That's true. So we've got contracts with all the banks, and that makes it easier. So you don't have to worry about we adding any extra commissions to your applications. So we get our commission on registration.
Right. One of the things that I love about using a bond originator is, like you said, Marleze, is that you're actually applying at all of the banks. And it's a couple of forms that the client fills in for you, and you take that and you distribute that to all of the banks, and you basically get quotes. You basically get quotes from all of the banks and see what bank is offering the best rate and the best deal for the client. Now, maybe you can advise us a little bit, Marleze, on how do you get a good home loan from a bank?
So I would do a pre-approval, which will give me your details on your credit score, your expenses. So I would start with a pre-approval, and not just a pre-approval that you go on a bank app and just type in your expenses and income and expenses. Basically go in, do the 30% of gross income, but also look at your expenses to make sure that your monthly repayment is something that you can afford.
Great. Credit score, I assume, would be very important, right?
Credit score is important. I always tell my clients is you don't have to have an excellent score. You just have to have a good score. So the score is an indication of what we can negotiate as an interest rate at the bank. So if your score is high, it doesn't say you will get 100%. If your score is low, it doesn't say you will not get 100%. Your score will be based on what type of interest rate you get. And it gives us an idea of which clients, what type of clients are we dealing with? Are you paying your accounts? Are you missing accounts? Are you paying late? So yeah, the pre-approval is definitely the first step for me towards a successful bond application.
Right. So we always advise our clients that you do everything that you can in your ability to improve your credit score. And the reason for that is the better your credit score is, as Marleze said, the better interest rate you can get. Do you know how much even a small difference in your interest rate can make over 20 or 30 years? So what I love about bond originators, and Marleze specifically, is that they fight with the banks to get the best interest rate for us as property investors. Marleze, you've seen many applications over the years. What would you say are some of the common mistakes that people make when it comes to financing and getting financing for property?
So I would go back again and say pre-approvals. People don't do a pre-approval. They don't speak to a consultant. They just go onto the app and they basically put in their income and expenses, and voila, there's your pre-approval. What they don't understand is that's just a guideline of what your affordability is. The actual application that goes to the bank is when you sign an offer and it gets submitted, and that's when it goes to a credit manager and they'll assess it. So the pre-approval is a guideline. It's not to say it is what you're going to get affordability or approved on. So not doing a pre-approval, I would say, is one of the biggest mistakes that you can do.
Great. Now, Marleze spoke about structure and how we've used the right structure to get a lot of loans from the banks for our property portfolio. Now, that is a critical thing that I want to take a moment to talk to you about, and that is making sure that you've got the correct structure in place. You want to make sure that you acquire your property not in your own name, but in a property company, and that a holding trust holds the shares of the property company. And the reason for that is the financing capability that gives you. So when you want to build a property portfolio and acquire multiple properties, make sure that you use the correct structuring. Now, Marleze, one of the questions that I very often get from my clients is, will they still be able to get 100% financing if they, for example, buy in a company?
So absolutely. So to buy a property, PTY or a structure, we ask for certain type of letters from the accountant just to say that the company is solvent and dormant or solvent and non-trading, which gives the bank the idea that there isn't financial statements in the company, which we then go back to the client's personal income, which can either be a business or can either be a payslip. So yes, and as you know, we've been doing so many deals, and most of your clients are lucky to get 100% finance.
Absolutely.
Still. So yes, it's doable. I just think the perception out there is that when you buy in a PTY, that you will get a higher interest rate and you will not get 100% finance.
And that's not the case, right?
That's definitely not the case. I've seen it, like I've been doing it for 21 years, and I've been helping your clients for the last 15 years. And we still get 100% finance even when they're buying their second or third property. So it definitely is just a myth.
And from what you are saying, is it right that you can get financing in a brand new company that has just been registered?
Yes, that's true. So that's where we said we get the letters from the accountant just to say, well, the company is solvent and non-trading, and that just puts the bank at ease that there isn't financial statements.
A lot of bond originators and bankers tell their clients that if their company doesn't have 2 years financials, they can't get financing. So that's not accurate, right?
That's not accurate. But if you've got a company where your money or your salary is being drawn, then that's a different situation. Yes. It's only when we do and I call it property entity. So you register a company basically for your properties. That's right. A different story. It's not where your salary is being drawn from. That's again another situation where you might have to give 2 years financials, but with the property entities, no, we don't need the financial statements.
And that's something we always advise our clients, is to make sure that you've got a separate entity that you buy your properties in. Marleze, it's been incredibly insightful. If someone wants to get hold of you, how do they do that?
Jaco, thank you for the opportunity, and I hope we can do this more, just to give some more advice and tips on how to get your bond approvals right the first time. But we've got a website, it's myhomeloans.co.za. You can just go onto the Contact Us tab, or you can just leave your contact details, and myself or one of my team members will give you a call, and then we can just start the whole process from start.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jaco. I really appreciate it.
If you want to invest in property and you need assistance with your structuring, that is what we do at Prosperity Enterprises. So make sure to click on the link in the comments to book your one-on-one consultation with us. And if you like this content and would like to see more of it, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.